What's going on, YouTube? Got Mr. Law Jones here with a new video. Hadn't been on here in a little while. I hope all is well with you. Just thought I'd get up online for a few minutes here. Just kind of update everybody, just, what's been going on around here at the old shop here. Just finishing up, everybody's else's vehicles and stuff, so I can go ahead and get started on get back started on the 66 DeVille. Like I said, it's been a little bit, so, since I've done a video. So I just said I'll go ahead and just update you and just kind of show you what's going on with it and what's the progress was going so far. So let's go ahead and turn the camera off of me. So here we go. This old girl right here. This is 66 DeVille, photo hardtop sedan. I did a video. Like I said, it's been a while since I did a video on it. Like I said, I took the front end off on it. Took the front end off of it, and got the frame off. So I'm actually doing like a POR, like kind of like a coating on it. Just kind of keep from rusting out. The frame is really good on the car. So like I said, I just got to clean all this up. This is the original wiring that's with this car. I just got to get the rest of that out. So I'm doing a brand new wire harness for it. If you see over here, like I said, around my firewall, actually really solid. Just got a little surface rust on it. So just got to clean that up. Got to make a template that's going to go around here, around the old blower, where the old blower motor was going to. And so it's going to kind of trace and make a template for it. Close this off here because I won't need that anymore. So like I said, I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to go with vintage air, old air, or retromod air. So like I said, I got some choices. So they don't make a kit for these cars per se, so I gotta just kind of make my own kit. And I gotta modify the tunnel on here. So what I'm planning to do is, like I said, I gotta cut the tunnel anyway because I'm going to 4L8E transmission in this car. Normally these cars here, this is the back of the firewall right here. On the original motors, that engine sits out probably about 6 to 8 inches away. So what I'm doing with the LS swap, with the LS motor, I kind of want to get it close to the firewall there. So I got to do my own mounts and everything else. I'm going to show you the frame in a second. So just doing a little bit of walk around. Like I said, still solid, very, very solid. Like I said, just surface rust. So I'm going to do the Port 15 on it. Might just sand a little surface rust off of it and just do that. But I am getting the car painted anyway, so I'm going back to the same color. So this color is called Antique Gold Metallic. So I was going to change it up, but like I said, since the door gems and everything looks really good on it, I get those cleaned up. But got all this up, got all the interior up out of here. Like I said, still got the dash in there. So that'll be the last thing I'm going to do is take that down. So when they ready to do the AC system in there, the new, whatever system going with it, vintage air or whatever. So I had to take that down because I had to run a new, hoses and all that stuff in there, and then put the new AC box, HVAC box in there. Down there, just a little surface rust in there. Like I said, definitely, solid floors, nothing hollow, nothing thin, anything like that. I mean, that's just literally surface rust. So I just got to clean it up, get some POR 15 on it. So POR 15 is like, they call it paint over rust. Very, very great stuff. I'm gonna show you what it did to my frame. So just got to cut that whole floor out of here. Just make a bigger tunnel, and just more really elevate it up, just raise it up a little bit. I'm actually going with bags on this car. So since I'm doing bags on it, so I just wanted to be able to lay frame on the car. So I got to modify the tunnel on it, make the tunnel a little bit taller. So got that. So we got that in the works. So take you over to the frame over here. And got this 73 Caprice over here. That's a convertible. It's actually a customer's car, but man, that car needs a lot of work on it. A lot of riding the floor. So was able to finally come off another B-body car from the Zero from 71 to 76. But man, it had a whole lot of serious ride in it, man. I mean, this car needs that car needs a lot of work to it. But customer, he's determined. He wants it, wants it together. So gonna do what needs to be done. So, but that's that. So, but that's a longer project there. That's gonna be a while on this one. But walking over to the frame that belongs to Cadillac, and here we go. So yeah, like I said, I had went on and just put the POR 15 paint over rust. I'm gonna show you that in a second. Just coated this frame up here. You got some areas that's not been touched, and the reason being because this rear end is actually going to get changed out on this car. I'm actually going to go with a 4 9-inch. Reason being for the 4 9, these Cadillac rear ends, they kind of look almost like a 4 9-inch. They kind of got that little offset pinion angle on it. but it's actually centered. It's actually centered, rear end on here, even though it's got that little funny offset on there. Reason being for switching it out, it gave me a whole lot of like gear ratio options as opposed to this Cadillac one here. That's actually a Cadillac exclusive, so no other GM car in that time, in '66, they didn't share the same parts, at all. I mean, Cadillac had their own, Chevrolet had their own, Buick, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, etc. So, so they, everybody had their own exclusive stuff. So this is actually a Cadillac exclusive rear end, but you cannot find no parts for it whatsoever. I mean, you might be lucky if you find an axle seal or something like that, but as far as like changing out any gear ratios, you can forget about it. You're not going to find it. So I just said I'll just go ahead and go with a Ford 9. Just going to be checking out some companies for that real soon who can go ahead and do that for me. And I got got some new trailing arms that's going to go on the car. And like I said, this going bags on it. So I'm actually going to be literally laying frame on this car just about. So, but this ratio right here, what's interesting is they had about 3 or 4 ratios at the time when they made this here. So one of the ratios they had a 294. They had a 321, which is what this actually has a 321 with a posi in there that came from the factory. And then you had a Fleetwood 75 sedan that had a 336. And then the hearses and the commercial vehicles at that time, because Cadillac, they were using these for hearses, and then they were using it for ambulances, believe it or not. And they use a 377 gear. So 377 gear, which would have been great to find, but it's like almost literally like impossible. So I said, you know what, instead of just going through all the headache and everything else, I said I'll just go ahead and just go and get a 4.9 inch and maybe go with like a 370 gear back there with a posi in it. That way I got the best of both worlds. It's a good cruising gear. I feel it's going to be a good cruising gear. Then it'll be good for acceleration. So not only doing the LSY, but it's actually going to have a supercharger on there. It's actually going to be an LSA supercharger on there. So, so this is the front of the frame on here. So if you look at the B body and C body cars, say like so this car here is, these 66, 65 to 70 is considered a 3rd gen Cadillac Deville. And then if you go to 4th gen, that'd be 71 to 76. The frame rail is actually a little bit longer. But if you see like back here, the steering is actually rear steering. But even like 71 through 76 is actually rear steer as well too. But the frame's actually a little bit longer. So, this front section of the cross member right here, which is the one where the engine mounts will sit at, so it's actually more forward. So on these Cadillac motors back then, those motors, they would sit like about 6 to 8 inches forward. So with me doing an LS engine swap on it, so I'm going to have to make my own mounts. It's only like a couple companies I know that makes some kits, make some engine mount kits for this. I know Davis Customs out of California. They make a really good kit. And then I think it's another company out of Arizona. They were doing a kit for a while. I want to say they're called Vintage Cars. I think it was. I think that's the name. I might be wrong, but I know Davis Customs for sure. I know they make a kit. And but since their kit is really good, I like their kit. They have a lot to offer to it, but since I'm going to 480E, I feel it may not work. So, and then also too, I wanted to kind of get my engine back a little bit more. So probably what I'm gonna have to do is just make my own mounts. So I'm thinking about maybe like doing mounts right here. So I just kind of make my own brackets right here, whatever. Then that way I can just mount everything there. So to get my motor back where I want to be at, and then I'm just going to modify the cross member, which goes right here, which is crazy. So, so this is how they did these frames this time on these 3rd gen, Cadillacs or whatever. So, but like I said, if you look at a 4th gen from 71 to 76, it's totally different from this here. So, just got to do a little bit of modification, but it'll come out good. I feel like it's going to come out good. And then, like I said, I'll just be able to box off, this section right here. So that way I don't have, so I just probably do like a bracket, a brace or something right here. So I'll brace a couple areas on this car, so like I said, the car, like I said, with the supercharger and everything else, I'm probably gonna have between 600 and 700 horsepower in there. So I'm not gonna be racing with it. It's just gonna be a cruiser, just with a, just gonna be a nice little cruiser, but I had the power when I need it. So, so yeah, that's it. So, I just want to show this here. But yeah, this is the POR15 I used on it. Got it coated all the way from front to the rear. And that stuff really, really good. But I'm gonna tell you something. If you get that stuff in your hands, man, that stuff is almost impossible to get off. You're gonna need some acetone to really get it off. I mean, I've heard of people using like vegetable oil. They say that works. I tried that one, that didn't work for me. So I ended up having to use some acetone, which is this right here, or either some nail polish remover. Like I said, that works as well too. So this can work acetone, or you just get some nail polish remover that'll get all this stuff off, get on your hands. This is stuff right here that I use, which is the POR 15 paint over rust. Very, very good stuff. So I bought a gallon of it just to make sure. I would like to make sure that I have more than, I would like to make sure that I have more than enough, make sure I have more than enough to do what I need to do. So but yeah, no, like I said, I felt it came out really well. If you see down here, just as the old factory rust proofing that's right there. So I know you kind of see like all the little lumps in there. So what that is, that just old like factory rust proofing that came on this car at that time. So some of it was scraped off and some of it was real, it was very intact. So I said, you know what, I'll just go ahead and just leave it on there. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. So other than that, that's it. So I'm gonna get ready to change these front end arms out here. I got a company that I went with. It's called Chopping Block Suspension. I'll be sharing it with you in another video with everything. I'm gonna get that set up, get the front end set up, and then also too, I'm probably gonna need to make a bracket to look into doing like a rack and pinion steering on here. So I'm gonna be kind of playing with that, a little bit too. So, but yeah, just stay tuned. Stay tuned with me. I got some more content coming out soon, but I just want to update with everybody because, like I said, it's been a little bit. I haven't been on here in a while. So, but yeah, if you like this video here, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up, give me a like. If you want to see more content, if you're new to the channel, you want to see more content, you're just kind of breezing through, just go ahead and click like, subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Just enjoy the rest of the Sunday. It's gonna be work week coming up tomorrow. So, but anyway, y'all take it easy. And Mr. Law Jones is signing up out of here. Y'all have a good one.